The loyalty missions for Mass Effect 2 are one of the, I guess, the best side stuff to do in the game as well. And some of it is actually better than probably some of the priority missions for Mass Effect 2, which really connects you with the characters. So, what are some of the best loyalty missions? Well, most of them I would say are very good, but let's do a quick tier list as well to, I guess, confirm these loyalty missions for Mass Effect 2 as well. Let's start off, let's do this in a random order. Won't go into too much detail, but let's start off with, what do we got here? Let's start off with the character that we don't actually use. I haven't used too much, and that's Legion. Legion's, I'd say, is an A. It's a, one thing I don't like about it is you have to do the, I guess, the main priority mission to get Legion, and obviously have a point of no return. I think it's before, or you have to do it straight away to, I guess, not lose certain characters in the game as well. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But besides that, it's a, Legion is a very unique character. So to learn more about, the Geth, and pretty big choice at the end of it as well. It makes it a very fascinating mission. Does this unit have a soul? It's very fascinating, and of course, if you bring Talia, it makes it even better. So Legions is definitely up there, one of the best. But I just don't like the point of when you have to do it, because you basically have to get him and then do it straight away in order for things to work out. If you want to get the best kind of ending, as well. Kazumi's, it's a C. It's a fun mission. I like it. It's different, but besides that, it doesn't do too much. Oh, actually, I might put it at a B, because you do get the best gun SMG in the game as well, the Locust. So, yeah, I would say that, and it's like the Dubai of Mass Effect, pretty much. So, yeah, it's a heist mission, but it doesn't feel like a. It doesn't seem too much of a, what would you say, the stakes are on the line. You'd say it's just you and Kazumi, which is unnecessary. And the other thing as well is the little flawed at the start of it, where it's like, what, Kazumi doesn't come in because they don't like the look of Kazumi. It's like, well, yeah, look at what you're wearing. It's pretty much so, yeah. But it's a fun mission, but it doesn't really do too much to, I guess, the game, which is why I think it's a DLC character. So there we go. Let's go to Jax. I would put Jack as a high B. It I feel like this doesn't do much. Like, she just wants to blow up the facility, so it doesn't really do, which is what you do anyway. So it's like you actually came and did what you had to do, and the choice you really get from it is, I don't think it makes a big impact anyway. I mean, it could make an impact. I've always chosen the Paragon option, I think. So maybe it changes Jack's perspective if you do the Renegade option. I don't really think so. You do get more of an insight into how Jack was living with Cerberus, though. So I guess that puts it up, yeah, to the high B. Yeah, which is, it was terrible. And you get more insight in what Cerberus, well, that facility was like doing to her as well. So it's not too bad, but it doesn't, really ponder, doesn't really do too much. Again, you just came what you had to do, pretty much. Grunt, I'll give it a B as well. Grunt isn't that much of a deal. It's like, to get into a clan, become a true Krogan. I like that it's different. It's basically an arena, you fight off enemies and you gotta hold them out. So yeah, besides that, it's nothing really too significant. We all love Grunt. Grunt's a fun character, so it's just fun either way to just be with Grunt. But yeah, just to, I guess, become a true Krogan, got to pass the trials, defeat a Freshimore. is quite fun, but I've never found this one too difficult to do as well. It's always actually been, yeah, it's not, it's never one where it's like, oh, it's, when it's, because you're put into a battlefield challenge, so it's like, I'm in a challenge and you got to defeat these enemies, but it's never, it doesn't, even though you have to defeat the Thresher more, it is challenging, but it just doesn't feel like, oh, I got to do this challenge kind of feel to it. So I think that's why it's in between here for sure. Samara's I'll give a C, maybe a low B. Samara to me has never really been an interesting character. It's just seemed too boring. Even with her code of the Justicar. And I just don't like it's a weird outcome where it's like you have to choose her or the daughter, and it just comes out of nowhere. I don't understand, like, because you recruit Samara more later in the game, so, and then that loyalty mission I don't think gets unlocked straight away, so it's more later in the game as well. I mean, which is why you can talk to her and, discuss, her life, but I've never really liked the outcomes of it. It's one or the other, and, maybe if we knew more of the daughter as well, her reasonings behind killing these people, or whatever she does, it's a bit weird. I do like the fun renegade options you can do you can do for that one though, but yeah, it's not really a memorable one for me. Thanes is, I would say, a B, high B as well. I really like Thane as a character, but yeah, it's, I think what would you say, trying to make his son a better person to not become as Thane, I guess, as an assassin, is interesting. I don't like that it's at the Citadel. It could have been anywhere. It could have been on Ilium. I guess we recruit him on Ilium, but it just is I guess the setting. I don't really like the setting of how it was set out. The mission itself is fine, and I like the good cop, bad cop moments of Thane. But besides that, it's not really a mission that's really, really memorable either, compared to the rest of them that are left as well. Like Tally's. Tally's is an S. It's like if Tally's one feels like a movie length loyalty mission, and the same with Morden's. It's you go meet the Quarrens, you get to know the Quarrens a bit more, you get to know how they're structured and how they're all kind of family together, and it's a very twist and turns of, did Tally do the wrong thing, the right thing? Did Tally's father do the right thing, wrong thing? It's definitely one that you are put in where it's like, this is an interesting one where I want to know what is the outcome for the good and bad as well. And you are torn, and you definitely feel torn. There's upsides and downsides to both of the decisions you have to make. So, yeah, and we all love Tally. Who doesn't? I don't like her romance. That's really rare for me to say, but I really love Tally as a character. We want the best for Tally. But yeah, playing this her loyalty mission the first time was like, okay, this is a really good one, and I think I did it as one of the last ones as well. So I think that's what made it better, because I did most of the other ones and then did Tallies. So that made it more like, yeah, this is what loyalty missions should be, I think. But it's definitely differences of characters. I'll put Jacobs as a low A. It's not a bad one, and you could say the argument of, I'm not going to get into the detail, but the signs are there to what the signs are there. We know what they were going for, and you could have your judgment on that. But besides that, it's a nice mystery one as well, where it's like the ship crash landed 10 years ago. We don't hear about it till now. It is convenient, but it's like a nice mystery one. And why were these people acting like this? And we end up knowing why. And I don't mind the fact that the game doesn't make us choose to decide, oh, Jacob's dad can be, a good person. Let him redeem himself. We don't really get that option, and I don't mind that. I like that it was just left how it was as well, or else then that would have been a bit too, again, convenient, like a redemption story. So yeah, it's not a bad mission. It's not a long mission either. I think it's a nice quick mission that you can do in about 20 minutes, if you just blitz through it. So it's not a bad one either. Miranda's, I would say, Miranda's is different. Miranda's is, I would say, low A. I think Miranda's is just fun. I like the combat in it, and I like the enemies within the structure of the mission as well. The actual story itself it's good for if you judge Miranda too early of being just this bitch, but she really cares about her sister, and then you figure out the more of the complication stories behind it. So, but she definitely cares for her, and you make her more as a person and not this Cerberus chick, and it's not more of just about her. And I like the quote that she says at the end of it. It's like, it's not what I want, it's what's best for her, so she shouldn't go to see her. And I like that. I like that. I think that's really good. So I think with that, I'll give it a low A. Zaid's. It's a fun mission. It's not a great one for story. It's more just a revenge mission that you don't even... I mean, it's an easy choice where it's like... It's not a complicated choice, but it's just... It's like the Kasumi one. It's just... I don't know what... And, if you recruit him early and you do it very later in the game, you actually forget of what... I forgot why we were there for. I thought we were there for revenge. But there was more to that as well, in terms of the Cerberus contract, whatever. So, I don't know. Zaid is a character. I think he's a good character to have on side missions, just to have his dialogue sometimes. But besides that, it's just, you like him or really dislike him. Anyway. Garrus, I'm putting as a D. Now, here is why. I just simply don't like this loyalty mission. I think it's unnecessary because of how great Garrus is as a character. It's another revenge mission that by the end of it, you just think to yourself, I don't even, like, Garrus is so, we all love Garrus, but sometimes you think, Garrus, why are you like this? Because, he's like, I have to kill him. He's lying when the Turian he wants to take out is trying to show a bit of mercy. And then you're torn of like, what do you want me to do? Because, do we trust the character that we've known so long, or take the player's words, the Turian's words for what's going on? But I just think in terms of the structure, how, like I said, I just think for a great character as Garrus is, the fact that we get a loyalty mission like this is just, I don't know. It's just not memorable. It's not good. I just simply didn't like it. I don't know. I just think it's just a bad loyalty mission. But this one is the best loyalty mission, and I think it's honestly, this Morden's loyalty mission should just simply have been part of the main story because of how the genophage affects, I guess, the trilogy as well. It's just so good. It's so fascinating, the backstory on Morden, what his opinions are on the genophage, and you can tell by Mass Effect 3 he's torn, but he has these reasonings, and again, this is why we love his character, because he's got a as a Solarian, the scientist Solarian, he's got his own way about it. He's got his scientific reasonings, his what would you say, the odds, never tell me the odds, the possibilities of that, but it's the dialogue that we have during the mission with Morden, Shepard and Morden, where it's, you investigate more and you get more in-depth look of the genophage, Morden's opinions and everything, where it's just so in-depth. It's just so good. Yeah, and then you make the big choice at the end. Well, two big choices. The other Solarian that was creating the cure for the genophage, and obviously it's not necessary for Morden to kill him. I think that was unnecessary if you went with that choice. But the big choice was, keep the data, destroy the data, or it's not an easy choice, but it's an easy choice. Where when I did this in my first playthrough, it's like, I definitely think we're gonna need this later on in the game, and sure enough, we definitely did. So I think the way they phrase it, and the way that they've made the genophage such a big part of the story in Mass Effect for the trilogy, it definitely makes it feel like, they're definitely hinting we're going to need this later, and we'll keep the data. So, but I love it so much. It's such a great mission. There's no complaints about it. It's a fun mission, the combat and everything. Yeah, it's top tier. It's top tier. It's the best one. Right, I've given it some thought. I'm going to put Jax as a low A, Grunt as a lower A as well. And my reasoning here is, I was thinking about it, these ones are more in depth with the characters compared to the rest, I would say, as well. The thing is with Thanes, I was thinking about Thanes as well. You don't do much in the mission, let's be honest. You don't. You just a good cop, bad cop, and then you just sneak around giving Thane directions on where this character is going, and that's it. Like, so in terms of actually Shepard doing stuff and making decisions, he doesn't really do that much, I think, as well in the Thane loyalty mission. And Kazumi's is still fun. Samara's, it's just the weird situation. Zaid's is Zaid's, and Garrus's is still Garrus's. But I've updated, I've given some thought there as well. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you all.